Neighbors, welcome back to the kitchen. Growing up in a Korean household, Kongnamul Guk was like an essential soup. We usually have soybean sprout soup in the morning. I would say in Korea, the top 3 most popular soups and the soups that you must know how to cook as a Korean home cook is 된장찌개. We have many recipes on that. Number 2 is kimchi-jjigae. We have recipe on that. And then number 3, I've done over 400 plus video recipes and I haven't done Kongnamul Guk yet. So I thought, duh, this is a no-brainer. All right, first things, we're gonna work with 콩나물, which is the Korean word for soybean sprout. The amount we're gonna work with, we're gonna do around 250 grams. If it's a little bit over, it's fine. For the beginner cooks, please note that this is soybean sprouts and not mung bean sprouts. 250 grams comes out to around 3 large handfuls. Let's say that's 1, 2, 3. Put this into a washing basin or a mixing bowl, and then we'll give it a nice thorough wash in cold water. Fill this up with water, toss it a little bit. I want you to rinse around 2 or 3 times. All right, then place something on the bottom and let's let the excess water drip off. For our soup, we're gonna start off with the anchovy and kelp broth. Use a broth packet. That's perfect. We're gonna need 500 milliliters of broth. So I'm gonna put in 2 cups. That's 1 cup of water and a 2nd cup of water. Heat on, and once the water comes to boil, we're gonna let this broth simmer away gently for about 10 minutes. That should be just right. All right, and while that's boiling away, we're gonna mince some garlic. I want half a tablespoon. Ooh, I'm almost out of garlic. This is a rare occurrence. Just the right amount. Then some spring onions or some green onions. I want around 5 tablespoons worth. Chop up a little bit of the white. And then I want you to move on to the green. And we want a lot more green. Gives a nice color contrast. All right, guys, and then we're gonna use a Korean Cheonyang gochu. This is a spicy chili pepper. This is optional. The original version, you don't need to put any peppers, but I like a slight kick. We call that 얼큰한 맛. Just not too much. Back to the broth. I'm gonna fish out the broth bag. I'm gonna get rid of the leftover bubbles that are on top. And then we're gonna add 3 cups of water. 2, then 3. 750 milliliters. Then we're gonna raise the heat to a medium high. Then we're gonna add in our soybean sprouts. Get them all in. Very nice. Make sure none of them are sticking over the edges like spaghetti. The tips may burn and ruin the flavor of the soup. And on that medium high heat, we're gonna wait for this to boil. Now please note, when you're cooking soybean sprout, we don't wanna put this lid on and then take it off because there's a certain smell with soybean sprouts and we want that to evaporate away. All right, and when it comes to boil, we're gonna reduce the heat to a medium low and let it simmer away for 5 minutes. Set a timer on. All right, 5 minutes is up. Begin our seasoning. Half a tablespoon of minced garlic. Get that added in there. That garlic is key. And then we're gonna add a little bit of soup soy sauce, about half a tablespoon. We don't want the soup to color too much. All right, half a tablespoon in, just to get some flavor. And then a half a tablespoon of that anchovy fish sauce. Note here, for substitute, we can also use 새우젓, which are the fermented salted shrimp, or use other types of Korean fish sauce like ganari ekjut, which is the Sandlands fish sauce. Then let's get our spring onions in. The final part we do with salt because adding more soy sauce or the fish sauce, it'll darken the soup too much. I'm gonna add in around a teaspoon. Then if you're adding chili peppers, let's just add in a few. And that is how to make 콩나물 guk. Beautiful. Let's turn it off. If you want it slightly more salty, of course you can add in a few more pinches if you like. Move some 콩나물 to a bowl. You can see the bean sprouts, the 콩나물 still have a crunch. I'll let you hear it. Perfect. Just put a little bit into a bowl like that. Pour the broth, maybe a little bit more. And then to turn this into a classical Korean breakfast, we need some rice on the side. I mixed in some black rice and it turns into purple rice. Then of course an egg sunny side up. You know, when I was younger, I always had it totally fried, but after moving to Korea, I like it sunny side up. And then yes, of course, these mini sausages. Yeah, yep. Katie, did you have a variation of this growing up?
Yeah, all the time.
Even in London, they gave you this, 콩나물 guk. When you came home, your mom made something like this, right?
Yeah, and then I kind of like it a little bit spicy, so I would add the red pepper into it and have it 칼칼하게.
Yeah, in Korean, we like to add a little bit of, come on, don't ruin it, Daniel. Don't ruin it, Danny. Oh, that's a lot.
It's okay.
Yeah, something like that, guys.
It's really good, and like there's a little bit of kick at the end, and I love it.
It's not too salty, and you get the natural flavors of the 콩나물, right?
It's really good.
And I did this without 새우젓.
Oh,
For our
really?
international audience, yeah.
This is the true Korean 아저씨 style. And then just eat. And look how you did the sausage. It blistered. Looks so 통통해.
I know, it's my favorite. All right, Katie, what do you got to say to the people, the audience? They're seeing your back. They're seeing your back.
It's so hot.
What do you want to say to the people?
I want to say enjoy the Olympics
Yes, Olympics.
and then cheer for your team.
That's right, 대한민국 on fire. Let's go.
양손을 쭉 펴고